said 1, 2, 3, are you ready for this?
1, 2, 3, are you ready for this?
People, get ready.
Yeah.
Gather round on the radio now.
Today FM Morning Crew.
Well, with Husey, Ed and Aaron, who are here and ready for your entertainment.
Who wants a $100 voucher to D-Shop? Call 131060 right now. Call that number right now. You get a $100 voucher. All you have to do is call 131060. Yes? Right.
The images
Put it out
on the
there.
Today Show of that plane coming in from LA, just over the, I can't remember which route they
Horizon?
take, but but over which part, I can't remember, not the inner west route, but whichever one it is that you take, the flight path to land, it's on, baby. International
no one on it,
travel's
by the way.
back. Hashtag regions back.
Mate, it was empty.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
It was basically empty. Yeah, I saw the vision on the news. No one on it, like a ghost plane. Like, people can't believe that they're allowed to do it. Or no one wants to come here.
Jeez, thanks, man.
Wow,
Thanks
that's
for
a
the
real
downer.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Cool downer, man.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about anything because we'll all be
Cool,
dead
man.
in 100 years, Mr.
Thanks, man.
Positivity.
Well, I'm
wow.
just telling you that there was no one on the plane. I'm
Cool,
just
man.
saying that you get the run of the plane, So, which is good, isn't it? I would have thought.
Well, I mean, it depends. Would they let you up the pointy end if it was empty and you hadn't paid?
They should, wouldn't they? There's no one there. God, I hate
No
that.
way.
Yeah, me too.
I hate when they won't let you up the front. Even to use the crapper, you know what I mean? You just want to
Crapper.
You just want some space. You want to be able to swing a cat while you sit down and, you know what I mean?
I love how you're trying to be relatable, like you don't fly at the pointy end every single time you're in the sky.
You know I don't.
Oh,
and
do
that's
I?
why I've got the money
He
I've
makes a
got.
point of it.
How do I know? Oh, yeah, gotcha. We sat pointy end New Zealand.
What's New Zealand? Did we? Yeah, right.
Plus,
That's
someone else
hardly
was
worth it.
paying as well.
Yeah, true.
But also, I'm not... Pointy end on short flights is ridiculous,
It is
to be honest.
stupid. Yeah.
I know Ed's right up for it because he doesn't want to be anywhere near the masses.
I'm an exit row guy, but you do that thing where you get on last so everyone knows you're flying economy. You make a point of it.
Absolutely. I walk past people who don't deserve to be in business and go, yeah, right. You're wasting your money, you fool. I hate children in business. I've said it
Oh,
before.
so do I. It's
Children should
dumb.
not be in business class.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You know, I do. I want to slap them and go, well, what company are you managing, you 3-year-old? Can't even manage it. Can't
Your
even
own
manage it.
diaper.
Oh, I won't say diaper. Where are we? Did I say diaper? What's wrong with you?
Well, it's just trying to
Nappy.
go along the theme.
Yeah, LA kids.
She's gone
Uppity
Hollywood,
LA
hasn't
kids.
she?
Uppity LA kids.
The Today FM Morning Crew. Husey, Ed and Aaron.
So the grand exodus can happen today. People can leave Sydney. They can get in their car and just drive, baby.
Yes.
Just get on the open road and floor it. Don't go over the speed limit. You'll get a fine. Even if you're doing 45 kilometres an hour, they'll still fine you. But
God,
get
it's-
out.
Don't even start me.
So I'm sick of getting fines for being 45. I got
Mind you,
a
I think-
47 kilometres an hour. I got a fine.
I think there was a campaign we were looking at doing which talks about
Yeah, no,
how that's
be safe. You're
yes,
right.
yes, and even
Absolutely.
if it's a little
I
bit
will
over, I
pay
think
that.
that was the whole premise
No,
of the
no,
campaign.
you're right. 100%. You got to pay the fines, and you know what?
Yep, do the
Don't
time.
speed. Don't get fined.
Yep.
Don't go over the speed limit. You do not get fined.
Yep. Do the
100%.
crime. Do the time.
So you know what? And let's just keep this real. You know, people are going to be out on the open road. Do not floor it. Do not go over the speed limit. And
Goodness no.
make sure that you're...
Even
tell you who
just so we
doesn't
never
floor
have to
it.
hear this again, I think it's worth not speeding.
Tell you who's a safe driver, and that's Lisa from Camden. And Lisa, now that you've been unleashed, where are you going to unleash the Lisa? Well, who's going to be covered in Lisa soon?
Lots of people. No, just
All right.
looking forward to going down Southern Highlands way.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. How far will you drive?
Oh, it's only about half hour, 40 minutes, but we haven't been able to go there for such a long time.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It's just crazy, isn't it?
Anything in
It's just like there's
particular?
The kids love going for day trips down there. They love going to all the bakeries, and we love all the different cafes and coffee
Bakery.
shops.
God, a little bakery, eh?
Mate, there's something about a regional bakery. And
Isn't there?
There's just, the bread smells different. It smells better. You know, I think
Yeah,
'cause they got
always.
is it the country air or is it, I don't know what it is, but I think they got the time and the inclination to make their people happy by filling them full of good bread.
I
Yeah,
agree.
you nailed it.
Thank you, man. So rural of you. Right, well, tell her what she's won.
Well, $100 D-store voucher. Is what
D
she's
shop.
won.
D-shop.
We're gonna
Yeah, goody. dshop.com.au.
D shop. It's Australia's best online
A big
department
D.
store. D shop.
Yeah, well, I sent them this bit.
The store is a
This whole
sauna
break
in
is not going to
Darlinghurst.
any of our. The whole break is not going to any of our.
Going on the
clients.
podcast, Kabaki. Not in the podcast.
Here comes Chris from Strathfield.
Hey.
Now, yeah, Chris,
Hey.
what are you fired up to do regionally? What are you fired
We're
up to do?
off to Wooleye, north of Cobb.
Yeah, beautiful. Bit of Wooleye
7-hour
Creek.
drive.
7 hours.
Yep.
Yeah,
Chris,
why
your
not?
game. How many in the car?
5 of us in total.
How
What
long are
is
you
it?
staying
Whatever,
for?
We're going for a week.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's nice.
You know what?
It's been a
It's-
trip that's been waiting to happen since June.
yeah, see, beautiful.
Can I just say something about the size of New South Wales? I mean, 7-hour drive. If you said that to someone who lived in a European country,
They'd
they would
be
be
in another
going.
country.
Yeah, you would be in 3 other
Exactly.
countries. You could. I mean, basically, Hitler went from Germany to what? Where do you end up? Paris in about 7 hours.
I'd rather leave you to do this on your own. Yeah.
I mean, he invaded a number of countries in that time.
Because they
You know
were
what I
close
mean?
by and it was easy to drive there. That's the whole point. 'Cause tanks don't last
Did he
that long on
drive?
the
Did
road
they have
either.
cars?
Of course, they
Oh,
yeah,
it was
they're
1940s.
tanks.
Yeah, they had Panzer tanks.
Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, right.
Daimler. They had Daimler Benz made a lot of their stuff. Anyway, D Shop.
Well, I'm
And on
going
that
to
subject, can I say
Royalla, by
that-
the way.
Where you
Royalla
going?
next week. Royalla, which is regional New South Wales.
Yeah, great.
See
To
mum and dad. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Taking
we're looking
Eliza.
forward to
We're going to
that.
go to the zoo and Questacon, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, so you should be.
Yeah, I am.
Absolutely. You've earned it.
Yeah, thank
through
you.
your hard work.
The borders have just kind of opened and stuff. So.
Yeah, but I'm proud of you.
Sydney's new 104.1 Today FM.
We love sports people, don't we? I've got to love sports people.
Yeah, I do. I love sports people. And NBA's on at the moment, and it's compulsory viewing for, I believe, most men these days, especially because it's on during the day. Certainly follow it on
Yeah.
your phone. The NBA is
Absolutely.
huge. And
Can't wait for the kids to be kids at school and then just watch sport all day. It's real
Fantastic
dream.
stuff. It's the best. Basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal believes in working hard for your money, even when it comes to his 6 kids. So he's gone on a podcast and he's talking about whether or not he's going to hand money to his kids or if they're annoyed at him for being tight-fisted. This is part of what he had to say.
My kids are older now, and they're kind of upset with me. Not really upset, but they don't understand. Because I tell them all the time, we ain't rich. I'm rich. I'm not giving you nothing.
I'm rich.
What the hell?
But did he include his wife in that? Is he married? What's his story, Shaquille?
Yeah, because that's a good point.
He's got
That's
6 kids. That's a
Is
great
he
point.
married?
I'll have a
Yeah,
look.
I just-
yeah. Because I think
you've got to say me and your mum are rich.
Yeah.
You've got to say that
'Cause I think
because
she's
she
played
can
a
take
fair-
it.
Yeah.
She can take all that money. They can't, but she can. Straight
Okay, so
away.
he was married from 2002 to 2011.
So he's single, is he? All right. Well, maybe he's rich. All right. All right. Yep.
Yeah.
Because he's made a lot since then. Because he's
Yes.
got his estimated net worth of over $500 million, but he has 50 different endorsement deals, including Gold Bond, Reebok, Pepsi, Papa John's, Big Chicken, and of course this one right here.
Never miss my weekly massage. And I never miss having a bet on Friday Night Footy.
It's shacking easy to bet anytime, anywhere with
all
the
right,
points
all right.
better.
Now it's just a free pet. Yeah, so he's deeply
You wonder-
invested in local football here too.
Before you get to the fact, should you give your money to your kids? I've just realised why he does those ads. Because people like him and Mark Wahlberg, who you go,
Yes.
Why do they need to come to
Yes,
Australia
they
and
got
do
f-
these
yeah.
ads?
Because
Because making money is like a game to them. So for Shaq, it's like a game. It's like scoring, 50 points in a game when you might have won even if you scored 30, but you score 50 because you love scoring points. Shaq loves making money.
Oh no, I thought it was
That's
you were
his-
going to say because it's illegal in most parts of America, so there's less opportunity to do the ads.
That's where I thought you were going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
So,
what-
but
that could-
can I
that
tell
could be
you
it
from
as
my
well.
perspective, I actually like the only thing with money for me is that for my daughter, like the only reason I care about money is for my daughter, type thing. Anyway, we should,
That's a great speech.
Thank you.
He just says
I'm a
he
bit
just-
emotional now, and I think we should, go to a break.
He just says that he came from nothing, and just because I made it doesn't mean that I'm going to hand it to you, to his children. And Hughesy's quiet now because I understand that his kids are rapping on the door saying, I hear there's money.
Stop listening to Shaq.
Who's rich?
Husey, Ed and Aaron, 104.1 Today FM.
He doesn't look like he drinks much anymore. Apparently, he's really, he's exercising at 6 o'clock every morning, and
Jeez.
yeah, so
Ed Sheeran is.
yeah.
Well, he's got
absolutely,
a
Ed
new
Sheeran.
baby, so that kind of
got a pub at
changes
his
your
house
life
as
a
well.
bit. Yeah.
But we've got an exclusive podcast on Listener that you can access if you download the Listener app, LISTNR, don't we?
Yes, we do. And there it's normally stories too long or too frisky to go to air live in the mornings. But this is a little bit, you were talking about how when you stopped drinking almost 30 years ago, and little stories that were sort of flashing back into your head. And this was one where you had an unfortunate incident in your own bed.
I got so drunk at the Christmas party that I woke up. I woke up. This is terrible, but I woke up at the other end. When your head's at the other end of the bed, and you're like, "Why is my head at the other end of the
what am I
bed?
doing here?
Yeah, why aren't I the right way round?"
Was it your bed?
It was my bed.
Yeah.
But my brother-in-law was staying in the same room, to be honest, and I felt sorry for him once I realised what had happened. He was in the single bed, the other single bed.
Oh, okay.
And I'd moved to the other end of the bed because it was the biggest vomit in the history of the world. And all I'd done to get away from it was just turn around and so I'm lying at the other end of the bed. And
I'm not laughing because I condone it. Oh my God. That's how when I didn't
Solutions,
change
man.
the sheets when Eliza had an accident.
You know what?
You just can't be bothered sometimes.
I couldn't be bothered, and I lost my shoes on that. Yeah, so I had lost.
Oh, you come home shoeless?
Come home shoeless.
And that is why he gave up drinking, everybody.
Oh, that's so gross. Was it like just a big, like what was the consistency of the
Oh, dear.
chunk? Like just a
It
big
was
chunk, or
massive.
was it?
It was a Christmas feast. It was like
Christmas feast.
It was horrific.
Well, it's a
I'll never
warning
forget it. The room
sign. There's a-
Yeah.
I don't think the room ever recovered, to be honest.
room reveal. So I tell you, we've got it's a warning. These are warnings. These are warning stories. And John from Picton's got a warning story for everyone. John, what happened, buddy?
Yeah, I went out for my 18th. We had the mixed grill, beer, bourbon, and everything else. Washed it down with a pizza.
Yeah.
And my mum picked me up, and as I was staggering in, she's holding me up, and I all over her.
Yeah, all over your mum.
Oh, your
all over your
mum.
mum. Come on, John.
Oh, mummy.
Yeah, I know.
It would have
She
been
copped
would have been
everything.
a large pizza too. Yeah, when you're 18, you don't order small pizzas for yourself. It would have been a king size pizza all over.
Cautionary tale,
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, I was with my little sister just before I moved to Sydney, so maybe like 12 or 13 years ago. And we'd been to a friend's house, and she was the designated driver, and I'd had a fair bit to drink, and we were driving back to Mum and Dad's in Mum's car. And I asked her to pull over because I was like, I'm going to be sick. And anyway, I went to put the window, I put the window down, but didn't quite make it. And anyway, there's a massive vom on the side, like on the inside of Mum's car. And once you do that, you can't get the smell out. It doesn't ever leave. And you can't
destroyed the
pretend
car.
it's something else either. Can't say I spilt my milkshake. Like it's got quite a distinctive acidic smell. Yeah.
Also, it's gone in between the window and the door. You know that.
And
sort of-
into the vents,
in there.
like where the air conditioning is. Oh,
yes.
God. Anyway, it's a cautionary tale because I haven't drunk since, clearly.
Exactly.
Sydney's new 104.1 Today FM.
Guys, World of Flavour is the amazingly beautiful new cookbook by Matt Preston. Available everywhere tomorrow. And the man himself joins us right now, Matt Preston.
Matt
Well, hello.
Preston, the legend,
Hello, morning.
mate. Your cookbooks are iconic. I'm going to use that word. What number is this, Matt? How many cookbooks have you put out?
This one will be 8. The last one was 7. That was the one with all the vegan and vegetarian food for you, David. And this
did that sell well? Can we ask? Did that sell well, the vegan
You know
one?
what? No. It was probably the weakest performer. Of the lot. But you know what? I'm really proud of it. So I've gone back straight to the bullseye. I've gone back to the world's 100 most popular dishes, and then the stories behind them, and effectively busting the myths behind the creation stories for all this food. There's so much tosh out there talked about food. It's nice just to try and get some honesty.
Now, Matt, so just back on the vegan stuff, after the last book, because you've sold many cookbooks, and did they come to you after the last book and go, listen, Matt, we want to go again. You got to drop the vegan stuff. Everyone hates it.
Look, I'm just going to say that's a really sore point. Dave wouldn't have noticed and not told you, but I've actually changed publishers.
There we go.
I'm now around about. Maybe that tells you something.
That's the straw, mate. That was the straw.
Mate, it's quality, not quantity. Quality of reader, not quantity of reader. So, anyway.
Hey, Matt, talking about quality of reader, I would be not that on any level. I can't cook to save. Actually, no. I do make a really nice bolognese, and I use jar sauces, but it's the way I mix 2 different jar sauces. And I do cook the mince as well. But what I'm saying is, could I follow this potentially, someone who's a real novice?
Yeah, absolutely. All my books have taken the attitude that if an idiot like me can cook it, you should be able to cook it. I do stupid things like give recipes to my kids and stand over them while they make it using just the recipe, just to make sure that just to make sure if you've never used an oven before, the pasta is going to turn out as good as the picture.
Love it.
It's got to be achievable. I think the whole point about that, there's nothing worse than reading a cookbook and saying it says start this 3 days before, or now go to Patagonia and find your toothfish. I mean, it needs to be stuff that's either in your pantry already, or you can just nip down to the supermarket to get.
Yeah, love it.
Now, mate, on another topic, one of your old buddies ended up on The Masked Singer this year. Let's have a listen to a little bit of George Columbara singing as the Feather Duster.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Here we go, loop-de-loop.
Now, for me, Matt, I had no idea it was him, and there was such a joy when he pulled off his Feather Duster hat, and there he was. Did you know that he was on The Masked Singer?
No, I didn't, David. I didn't. I had no idea.
Did you know he could sing?
Had no idea. Saw it in the media the next morning and thought, we've all got to make our bread somehow.
But did you know he could sing at all or not?
Yeah. No, he was in. I think he was in the Australian Boys Choir for a week until he got thrown off the bus for mooning out the back window. That was the story that he told me.
Wow, did you just make that up or not? Did you make that up? Have you just made that up, Matt?
Look, that's the sort of myth that gets busted in my new book, World of Slavery.
There you go. Back to the book, baby.
Good
That's what we do.
And quickly,
back on message. We're back on message.
MKR, Matt.
Always a pro, Ed. Always a pro.
I know you are, mate.
MKR, Matt.
Matt's Kitchen Rules. It's on 7. We know it's coming back. We know that you're signed to that fabulous network, so we're excited to see you on MKR, buddy.
I've not had any conversations.
That's a good one.
About MKR. It's wonderful format though it is, and the idea of taking MKR back, as I've said, to the old, when it was all about food and great family cooking. I think it's a fantastic
good idea.
And Devon have had a lot of success in rebooting old formats.
Yes, they have.
So it is to see who they pick.
Before we let you go, and just quickly, obviously Bert Newton, a legend, passed last night. You would have had a bit to do with Bert over the years, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my first break on doing TV in Australia was doing the Bert Newton show on 10. So
Good Morning Australia.
The EP on, and it was amazing. And he was that weird thing of going into a room with someone who's an absolute legend, and then them being really, really nice to you, and really supportive and friendly, and not at all kind of cool and and up themselves. He was an amazing person, and a very funny man, and he's a huge loss.
Yeah, well said.
Absolutely. It's good on you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Get up with the Today FM morning crew. Husey, Ed and Aaron.
So big news came through on Saturday, very late Saturday night. It was reported big time yesterday. The tributes are flowing. The legend is Bert Newton. This is Pete Overton on the Channel 9 News.
The curtain has fallen on our greatest showman. Bert Newton has died at the age of 83. From humble beginnings, he became one of Australia's biggest and brightest stars in showbiz, his career spanning 7 decades.
And so we all knew Bert. I certainly knew him.
Where did you first work with him?
Well, look, I've got to be careful here because when, I said I've posted something, my wife said about Bert, my wife said, do you make it all about you? And I said, no, I did not make it all about me. I considered it making it all about me, but I decided not to.
There were decidedly two camps in the Instagram tributes. There was one side of sort of folks who loved Bert, worked with Bert, and, were sad that Bert had passed. And there were other folks, the other side, which were desperately looking for a tenuous link so that they could somehow promote themselves.
And there was a bit of both as well. There was an intersection in the middle.
Yeah,
of people
some had
who-
a helping
anyone in the middle immediately goes over to, I've managed to make this about me.
Well, I'm going to tell you then. I'm going to say to you, most people are in that camp then.
Oh,
There's very few
90%.
people in the camp who don't mention their connection to Bert.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say they're wrong not to mention their connection to Bert, but I did not mention my connection to Bert.
Okay.
Even though I could have mentioned stuff.
I would
And,
use this
you're probably
opportunity
right
now, please.
No, I'm not going to.
But that's different. I'm asking you your experience of Bert so that people who didn't know Bert Newton, who are listening going, well, I don't know Bert Newton, what was great about Bert Newton? And what was great about Bert Newton when he came in to do my first ever radio show is that I was absolutely nobody. I'd been given an opportunity and he's extremely nice to me. And we had these ridiculous ideas that he would read radio ads for us because that's where he came from, initially radio. And he stayed back after the interview and just mucked around with us, making them absolutely perfect. And so that's why they sounded so funny, because for him, Tony Martin and myself, he just stuck around because he thought it was a funny idea. And that's
Great.
Bert, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm talking about. He's a ledge. Obviously.
I love that story.
Yeah, there's a lot of those stories about him. There was a story that someone wrote on Twitter, which I retweeted, which was she was a woman. She said when she was 9, she was nervous. She went up to Bert at an airport, and he was just the loveliest guy. So, so many interactions with Bert Newton were positive. Like, I mean, no one's got a bad word to say about him, and if they do, this isn't the time to say it, obviously. So, and people are respecting that. It's not that there would be any bad words to say about Bert. And so what a sweetheart,
Yeah, really sad for his family, his kids, and he had so many beautiful grandkids because he obviously had the issue. He had the amputation in hospital a couple of months ago, and you're kind of worried that maybe things weren't improving, and clearly they weren't. But for Paddy and his family, it's a really sad time. And all of it, I mean, there's so many people who feel like his family because you watch someone on TV for that long, you feel like you know them and they're part of your world. So it's really sad.
Yeah, absolutely. And but it's also joyous though because he had such a wonderful life, and it's he's a man who he was always up for a laugh no matter what situation he was in. So he would be looking for people to make jokes right now. I'm not going to.
No, I think he should, why not? Not about just something that might make him laugh.
Well,
So he used to do this thing. So Good Morning Australia, he would start every Good Morning Australia, which was on for 12 years on Channel 10. He would do the same thing with Belvedere, his thing, in order to get the crowd there. So they had 20 people in the crowd, but he always wanted every crowd to have the best possible time. And so he would wait, and exactly when the last person was there, he'd look at Belvedere, and they did the same little routine. Belvedere told me this, that they did the same little routine every morning to get the crew and the crowd going so that Bert knew it was going to be a fun show. So he just nodded at Belvedere, and Belvedere would walk past Bert Newton, and he goes, "Hey, who are you?" And Belvedere would go, "I'm a businessman." And Bert would go, "Businessmen don't walk like that." And then Belvedere would go, "You don't know my business." And then the crowd would laugh, and the crew would laugh, and they'd be away. And they did it every morning, and they just loved it. And that's what he was.
Old school.
Old school. Keeping it real. Just entertaining.
Hey, when we come back, though, we have got a story from a man whose parents used to run a shop nearby where Bert lived. And this story is Unbelievable about how far Bert would go just to help out every person he came across.
That's what I'm
Don't miss
talking
it.
The new 104.1 Today FM.
And now we're about to hear a great story about Bert Newton's common touch, Vale Bert Newton. But just quickly, my wife said, have you posted a photo of you and Bert yet? I said, I haven't. She said, why not? I said, I don't know. I just haven't. She said, you couldn't find one, could you? And I said, well, I don't know. I haven't looked. She said, you want me... This is what she said to me. This is why I worry about my wife. She said, you want me to post that photo of her and Prince Philip when he dies? I said, he has died.
Oh, that's great.
She didn't even know Prince Philip had died.
That's great.
She's a teacher.
Oh, my
you know what I
God.
mean?
The future of our children has been entrusted to Holly. It's
He'll
actually
never die.
terrifying. He hasn't died in her heart. Maybe that's what
Yeah,
she
he'll
meant.
never die.
He'll live forever.
Now, Cameron Adams is the feature music writer on the Listener app, our great partners. And Cameron, you posted something on your Twitter, not about you, but about your parents and their interaction with the great Bert Newton back in the day. And we want you to tell the story here. So welcome to the show, Cam.
Hello, mate.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, Twitter's the place for nice things, isn't it?
Yeah, well
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
It is. It was yesterday. I think a truce was declared on Twitter yesterday, where there was less fighting and there was a lot of celebrating Bert Newton. So, mate, what's the story?
Okay, basically, so my parents ran a milk bar in the 70s, and Bert was a regular. He popped in there on Sundays on the way to church. Mum said he'd buy mixers for his drinks. So anyway, he got to know my family by name. One day, one Sunday, my auntie was working. His mum and dad were away in the country. And that same day, my auntie got a call that her brother, my uncle, had passed away. She was obviously in shock, but she kept working. She didn't know how to contact my parents to tell them. That same day, Bert came in for his mixers, noticed that my auntie was kind of shaking, asked what was wrong. She told him. He asked if my dad knew, and my auntie said, no, he's away in the country. She couldn't contact him. This is obviously long before mobiles. Anyway, Bert said, I'll drive to the country. I'll find him. And she said, look, you will never find him. Don't worry. Thank you, but no. Basically, Bert went and bought some brandy, brought it back, gave it to my auntie to calm her nerves, told her to sit down. Then the biggest star on Australian TV served behind the counter until she'd composed herself and was able to get back and work.
Oh, God, that's lovely.
He jumped behind the counter to sell stuff at a shop.
Yep.
And he did not know your auntie, did he, at all?
He knew her from occasionally going in there, but no. Yeah, just a sort of casual acquaintance.
What a bloody wonderful man.
That's what he was
Absolutely.
like. That's what he was like. He was
Have
the
you
genuine
seen it?
article.
Cameron, you've been in the entertainment industry for a long time. You used to work for News Corp. Have you seen an outpouring of emotion like this? It's amazing, isn't it?
It's incredible. Yeah, I guess he covered a lot of different mediums, so yeah, but not a bad word.
Mm.
Yeah, it's bloody sensational. What a bloody
Gee,
superstar.
Husey is going to be searching for that photo of him and Bert all day. This is devastating for him. Good on you, Cam.
Husey in there.
The new 104.1 Today FM.
So it's all about ScoMo and him in the other part of the world. What's going on over there, Aaron?
Well, the G20's on, so I think it's 75% of all the world leaders are together in one room, which is very exciting if you're into your politics and you like global affairs. It's also would be quite terrifying if you're an Australian Prime Minister who reneged on a massive multi-billion dollar deal with a country like France, who's really, really, and excuse my French, pissed off.
No.
So let's...
90 billion. It was 90 billion.
I mean, 90
It's
billion.
just
You're right. It's just a flick in the ocean.
Drop in the ocean.
That makes a drop in the ocean even. Yeah. So they had the family photo shoot. This is one of the most recent things that have occurred. And to give you a quick visual before we hear it, Prime Minister Scott Morrison over one side, Macron, the French president, and Biden on the other, looking all cozy. Just imagine Scott Morrison looking kind of longingly over like a love-sick teenager.
The official family photo at the G20 was happy snaps for some and lonely lad for others. The American president is keen to make a public show of mending fences with his French counterpart as the Prime Minister who scuttled a French substeel watches from afar.
Now, why would he be ignoring the Australian Prime Minister? Macron was asked exactly that. Take a listen.
I just say when we have respect, you have to be two and you have to behave in line and consistently with this value. You think he lied to you? I don't think. I know.
Well, I mean, he doesn't think he knows. But Prime Minister Scott Morrison was asked, is there an issue? Oh, my God, of course not. We've already spent time together.
Was having a chat to someone. I went up and just put my arm on his shoulder. I said, "G'day, Emmanuel," and look forward to catching up over the next couple of days.
Which is cute. And if you see the vision, Emmanuel didn't put his hand back on Scott Morrison or seem to engage that much. But, of course, this all started back in the day, a couple of months ago.
Hang on, just on the arm on the shoulder, Morrison is a big bloke, and Macron's not. He basically stood over him and gave him
G'day.
Looking down on him.
But you know what? In Morrison's defence, at least he knew his name. He called him Emmanuel, which is more than I can say for the American president.
Thank you, Boris. And I want to thank that fellow down under. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate it, Mr. Prime Minister.
So anyway, it's just a massive...
But that's why he can't hang out with him. He can't hang out with him because he doesn't know his name. He's asking Emmanuel, what's the name of that bloke, that big bloke over there grinning at me?
That
the guy with the subs.
bloke.
What's his name? What's his name?
With the subs.
Mate, he could be... ScoMo could be wearing a hat saying, "I'm Scott Morrison," and Biden still wouldn't know his name, honestly.
New 104.1 Today FM.
Now, I'm not really angry, to be honest, but I don't have a segment called Hughesy's sad. So I'm going to have to go with angry, or I could be Hughesy's disappointed, or Hughesy's flat, or Hughesy doesn't think that he's seen. I don't know. Is it an age thing? Have I ticked over a certain number where people don't see me?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
As, I'm going to say it. You don't see me as a sexual being, do you? No. Have a look at me. Erin in particular, have a look at me.
I'm looking.
What do you see? What do you see?
Oh, God. I see this is really hard.
What do you see?
Well, do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to say
No,
what I know you want me to be?
overall. What do you see that's changed in me? Hasn't something that hadn't happened for a long, long time, right through.
Oh, did you brush your teeth?
No.
That's not nice.
No, I didn't brush my teeth. That's ridiculous.
That's not
Play the music, Jack.
Long, beautiful hair, shining, gleaming, steaming, flashing,
Had a haircut.
Oh, God, you
I've
have.
had a freaking haircut.
Yeah, tight fade.
Mate, you
First
did that
time
like
in-
a month ago. We did one on air. Holly did it.
But that was the last one. That was how long ago was that? That was about 8 weeks ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was lockdown haircuts, and this was out
That was
of
a long
lockdown
time
haircut.
ago.
Yeah, right.
I've
It
had
looks
a
amazing,
professional-
by the way, yeah.
No, well, you didn't even notice. You don't even look at me.
Oh, no.
What do you
You
want me
don't
to do?
care
If
less.
I looked at you with longing eyes, how's that going to make Holly feel? I'm trying to be a respectful co-host.
Well, I mean, I went too far in my desires then, but you could have just said you've had a haircut. Did you notice? Do you even look at me?
I do.
Do
look
you?
At you. I did. Why doesn't Ed get grilled? You don't see gender. Why doesn't Ed get grilled in the same way?
Because I don't expect him to notice my haircuts because he doesn't,
Because he's got a penis. It's okay.
Oh, we don't know
no,
that.
that's not nice.
He might not
That's
have.
not nice for people.
The Today FM morning crew. Husey, Ed and Aaron.
And Aaron, did you hear Aaron then just saying that my haircut looks good? I mean, the horse is
Nice of her.
bolted, basically.
Thank you,
so-
Ed. Thank you. No, because I hadn't. I don't focus on the aesthetic.
Yes, you do. What do you focus on?
All I focus on. Just because someone might look good sometimes doesn't mean it's their focus. Sometimes it just happens. I don't even try.
Well, it's an accident, is it? You don't even try to look good.
I don't.
Well, you are a natural. You're a natural beauty, no doubt about it. So, as Ed is, absolutely.
I don't need this. So, I tell you what I like. Mitch and Mark from the block are coming up.
Sydney's new 104.1 Today FM.
Yeah, Sunday for Halloween, I think, put extra sauce on the pudding because it gave people extra time to party and more time to get their costumes organised. I know at our house it was weeks in the making. You guys have seen the photos of my two daughters and what they got dressed up as. So one of them
Very
completely
creative.
in green. So and that green may never come off. And the other one was like a
Small price to pay.
and the other one was a headless person because you can do a costume where you extend your torso and so you put a decapitated sort of neck, a neck, bloody neck on the top of your thing, and then your head's halfway up, so your actual head. So it looks like you're holding your own head with two arms holding what is your real head. So it's disturbing.
But it's not actually decapitated.
No, Sadie didn't cut off her own head and just carry it around, because that would be taking it too far. But I don't reckon that's far away, though. I reckon there's going to be some people who are going to do that. Is there stats on crime on Halloween? Because there's just people covered in blood all over the place. So you don't know what's real and what isn't real.
It's true.
Tell you what is real, though, with this thing, when this big statue's been spinning its head down near the harbour. Look at that. Netflix built the full lifelike, the giant stop-go, Squid Game. Jeez, bit too much Squid Game for mine on the socials. Like, we get it; it's a big TV show. You got to think harder than that. You know what I mean?
Was it The Lion King this time last year or not? Did he...
The Lion King?
No, the
Tiger King. The Lion King was like 20 years ago.
Whatever, you know what I meant. They're doing Tiger King 2, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're doing
Yeah, they are. I don't know how.
Just released.
But is he out of prison now, or
No,
old
goodness,
mate?
no.
No, right.
Not
What
at
did he do? Like, was it that bad?
Yes, it was that bad.
Yeah, right.
Tried to hire a hitman.
Yeah, that's bad.
Trying to get someone. Well, no, he got convicted, so it's not alleged, is it?
Yeah.
Did he get convicted?
No, he's in prison.
Yeah, he's in prison.
He's in prison.
Usually they
Oh,
have to be convicted.
Well, he can still be out. Anyway, so back to Halloween. Has it gone too far? What are we seeing? I'm just seeing people all over the joint. It's like... And Erin, you've got an issue with women and what they're doing for Halloween.
It's not an issue. I think it's lovely. But so my daughter dressed up as Little Red Riding Hood, wholesome, fully covered, red frilly petticoat, in the real spirit of Halloween. I'm sick to death of seeing 20-year-old Instagram models wearing underwear and then doing like either an eye drop of a tear or a drip of blood down their side mouth and then hashtagging Halloween costume. No, it's not. You just want to wear nothing and look hot and justify it, which I'm all for, by the way. That's great. But I just think wear a big sheet or wear something that you can bloat in or, like, I don't know, get creative. You don't have to look hot all the time.
I feel like that's a personal take from you.
Or what, you and Ed think that's okay?
Yes, I'm going to speak on Ed's behalf here. He doesn't have to say it.
It's the best. It's the best part.
But people are so obsessed with it, Erin. You told us a story before the show which absolutely shocked me as to how committed people are to Halloween. So you're part of the Channel 9 News family, and everyone does a great job. Last night, did someone take a night off? Is that right?
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm revealing anything because you couldn't see that they weren't there. But I did news a few days this week because Cam was away. And on Thursday, Pete said to Amber, I'll see you Sunday. She was like, oh, no, I'm taking it off. So she takes it off, I think, most years for Halloween because it's such a big deal. I think around where they live,
it's religious, is it?
It is. That's how. And look, don't get me wrong. Amber
No.
does all the hard yards and she works very hard, but it's kind of her special thing that she takes off each year. So Belinda had to fill in last night.
But you know what? But Ed, I was watching last night, and that explains why the great man Peter Overton had an issue. This was from last night, and I couldn't believe it. But have a listen. This is just been a weather report. Here we go.
The forecast coming up a little later, Pete.
Amber, thank you.
No.
Amber, Belinda, thank you. Sorry about that.
That happens. She was dressed as Amber.
Not your fault, Pete.
She was dressed
She's
as
off looking
Amber
hot
for Halloween.
Husey, Ed and Aaron, 104.1 Today FM.
Yeah, my wife's just texted. She's in the car, or she must have been pulled over to text. She wouldn't do anything illegal. Very does the right thing. She said, Mean Girls, but the movie Mean Girls, starring the one and only Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, there's a clip in that about. She's talking about the fact that Halloween for teenagers is an excuse to dress like a.
Yes, Holly, I remember that. Brilliant. So true.
But where are we at with Halloween? Like we saw, big parties like Hella Scream at Luna Park. Great fun. There we go. Designated event. We're all involved. But if you've got your house decorated, that means kids are going to come and knock on the door. If you don't have your house decorated, then normally they'll sort of pass you by. But where are we at? Has it reached critical mass? I mean, certainly if the shops want us to believe it has, but, people holding out. What are they doing?
Talisha from Glenfield? Sorry, you go.
No, I was just saying we just put a pumpkin on the front gate, which means that we do partake in Halloween, and then just a bucket of lollies so that they don't have to knock or anything. All they have to do is just put their hand in the bucket. There's no interaction whatsoever.
Yeah, good.
And then when the bucket empties, you just go out and fill the bucket up. And that's
It's the spirit of it.
Fill the bucket. Fill the bucket twice. So, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, well, that's a bit of fun. Talisha from Glenfield, were you Halloweening or no Halloween?
No, I avoided it like the plague.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
How?
Oh, we got out in the morning and we went cruising in our old school Australian car and just went out and ate. Tried to stay away. Even in the afternoon, we seen them on the street and I'm like, let's go. Let's go to Woolies or something. Just get away from them.
Let's go to Woolies. It's a place to be.
Did something happen to you as a child, Talisha, that's kind of, impacted you, or you just hate it?
No, I just don't feel like it's an Aussie thing. It never has been. All of a sudden. I don't know why. All of a sudden it's here.
It reminds me, Talisha, of when I was with my children. First time we ever trick-or-treated. One of my daughters was dressed as a fairy. My son was a policeman. They were like 4 and 2 at the time. And I had blood all over me, fake blood my wife had put all over me. And we knocked on the door and this guy said, we're not American. And I said, well, guess what? She's not a fairy. He's not a policeman.
Great response. What a knob.
We got Grace.
Hey, Grace.
Oh, good morning. I spent my waking up in the morning with the kids at 7 o'clock in the morning decorating the house. So we decorated the house in the morning. Around 3 o'clock, we ended up going for a walk through Edmondson Park.
Okay.
Dressed up as Joker. I had Harley Quinn and I had my clown and myself, a purple wig, a black dress, high knee boots. I don't know what I was trying to be, but anyway, just to get into fun with my gloves. From there, we ended up jumping in the car, going to the next suburb, which was Preston's. We did some trick-or-treating there, and then we just kept driving. We went to all the areas, and we just.
Did you adhere to the rule that if the house isn't decorated, then you don't knock?
No, I don't. Yeah, if the house is decorated, we knock. Obviously, my kids are a little bit older, so they were actually going to different houses and just pranking them, trying to do, snapshots and stuff like that to put, but people weren't answering the door. They were just like, totally avoiding the whole situation, pretending they weren't home.
So you a bit of sort of like delinquency, bit of juvenile delinquency thrown in.
But actually, Jessie from Campbelltown, there's the opposite end of the spectrum from Talisha. What had you done yesterday, Jessie?
So I didn't do much. I actually went out and got some chocolates and lollies for the kids, expecting them to show up, and I had no one rock up. So I accidentally ate all the lollies.
Yeah, it can happen.
Sydney's new 104.1 Today FM.
Getting excited for the biggest night of TV, everybody. The auctions of the block.
And these will be the most interesting auctions because all the houses are different and they're all on different land sizes and the bidding will be all over the shop. There's no doubt that it's going to be crazy on Sunday night, isn't it, Mitch and Mark?
Oh, my God. It's going to be huge, Susie, and your house is ready.
There we go.
Didn't you order it? You ordered it. We got a photo from you that ordered what you wanted in the house. It was on a photo, Susie.
Look, I love family homes. I'm not going to lie. They're the ones that stand the test of time. So, there's going to be some heated bidding come Saturday when the actual auction is. So, it's going to be huge.
And Hughes, if you're lucky enough to get ours, you'll get a floor plan that actually works.
There we go. There we go. That's a dig. Now the digs have started. Let's start with this, boys, because you guys are genuine renovators. You've made a career of it. Your last block house was an absolute belter. And then all of a sudden you rock up and it's fans versus faves versus people from Love Island, and it's the twins, Luke and Josh. And this is the way they're selling the finale, lads. This is what they're going with.
Yeah, I want to tell the truth. You sure? The TV moment of the year. The truth. Obviously, we know the truth. Drops
we feel now is the time to say it.
Like a bomb.
I'll show you the text message.
This is what happened.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
Boom. Can't wait. So are we going to hear the truth or are we going to hear my truth?
I'd say it's a my truth, yeah.
It's a my
So you'd be
truth
confident.
situation.
Can you give us any insight into what kind of bomb is dropped, boys?
I don't know. Maybe can it be an admission?
Oh, my God, don't tell me somebody's going to actually tell the truth.
No,
you wouldn't dream. You know what? How would you have a fictitious tradie, some pretend tradie, who took a photo and sent it to your phone that they never knew you? I don't know about you, but I don't have phone numbers in my phone that I don't know.
Walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. Chances are it's a goose.
And they have laid some eggs with their floor plan, haven't they? So, no doubt.
They're hoping they've got the goose with the golden egg, but I'm not sure about that.
How confident are you guys? Like, what kind of, price are you looking at?
We think a conservative $4 million goes down.
Wow.
But Aaron, I'll do a deal with you, though. I'll do a deal with you, okay?
Yeah.
Future's not up. We're here for you, Aaron.
So seriously, because I'm in the market, so if you want to do one of those little backdoor kind of, is that what they're called? Backdoor stuff?
Aaron, just settle down. We're not talking about the back door here, though. We're talking about
Aaron, be careful. There is a steam room in the house, so be careful.
There is a lovely steam room, though. Husey? Fancy
Yeah,
bit
mate,
of
there's a lot
steam?
of, and you've worked. There's a lot of privacy in these houses as well. So what happens within those four walls will stay within those four walls. So in previous years, you had people looking in on each other. Not this time. This is going to be huge. There's no doubt about it. And there's a lot of value to be had. So you got to remember, guys, and for anyone, there's a lot of money spent on these houses which people don't see. So you put land and building together, and you always get value, don't you?
Absolutely, and the depreciation, Husey, with all the amazing fittings.
Frankly, they're bargains. They are
It's a
actually bargains.
Look at your outdoor area. The garden's beautiful. The seat around the tree. Oh, it just looks stunning.
And then the tropical oasis in the backyard, it's totally private. Last night I was laying there yesterday afternoon on the deck chair, sunbaking, pretty much naked. No one could see me, which was such a waste.
Which is a waste. You need a webcam. Oh, good luck, lads.
The Block Grand Finale Auctions airs Sunday, 7 o'clock on 9. It's Husey, Ed and Aaron.
Husey, Ed and Aaron, 104.1 Today FM.
Husey, you cheered up a bit, mate. A bit sad earlier. You was a little bit upset.
Well, I was sad because no one noticed the fact I got a haircut. The first haircut since my wife did an unprofessional job back in that. Remember we had that night we had? Remember we were all on Zoom and we were all shaving each other's heads?
I just couldn't imagine what it would feel like to need constant reassurance about how I look. Sounds exhausting.
Yeah, well, that's obviously, you're talking about yourself there, and we know you are.
I've got the poll result.
Yeah, just quickly though, you'll see Ed Cavalier tonight, and have you been paying attention? Hit Channel 10 show. Ed, you've got Josh Lawson on tonight. You're one of your best mates, if not your best mate. So
yes, absolutely right. The star of
Hollywood
Mortal Kombat. Yes, he's in town doing another film. So that's thank you. No, it's a bit of fun. Michelle Payne joining us as well, the Melbourne Cup winning jockey who's doing some work for Channel 10 for the Melbourne Cup and for the Spring Racing Carnival.
She's amazing.
And I've still got money in my betting account off the back of her win in the Melbourne Cup. Yeah, because a mate of mine had a 1/100th share in that horse, so I put some money on it. It was 100 to 1, Aaron. So when
I know, yeah. So how do you still have money in your betting account? So you just haven't?
I don't bet.
Yeah, right.
I don't bet much.
Yeah, right.
I'm a low bettor. But I bet on the fact that people would like my haircut and would put it on Instagram. And what were the options they got to vote on?
Well, there were two options. The first was sick. The second was sick as. And I think that's a young person term for cool.
So both of them are positive terms, aren't they?
Yes.
So you can't lose when that's your option, sick or sick as.
See, well played, Bryce, because he obviously knows you very well after a year of working together. And I can give you the result. Ed, what would you hazard a guess, Ed? Where do you think, which way do you think it went?
I reckon people will go that it's 80% sick.
And 20% sick as?
Yeah.
Well, it was 47-53, but in the last few minutes, 50-50.
Wow, straight down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, of all the 10 votes, 5 went either way. Just kidding. It was a lot of votes.
I reckon people might have been looking for a third option.
All right, that's it from us, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.